Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Mike Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his Wednesday guest. And yes, it's Thursday, but it's really Wednesday. How you doing, Matt?
It all just blurs together. We're
Yeah.
having so much fun every day.
I love those little paint swatches behind you. Now that you pointed them out in the first video, I see them. I
Right.
didn't see
Yeah.
them before.
There was five. And then I was recording a video earlier and I put this painting on top of three of them so I could turn my camera this way. But everything I've done for the last week, people have been like, I wonder, oh yeah, I was on a Zoom call at the end of the Zoom call. Hope to see what color you pick soon. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I turn around. So it's being painted this Saturday. The new sign's going up. It's good. It's going to look great.
It's going to be beautiful. Well, hey, one of the things we've done over the last year or so together is we've talked a lot about owner ocks and refis and something of that nature. What I want to do in this episode entirely is talk about investment loans, purchase, refi, everything investor rates, all of that stuff. Because we talk like 3 1/8 in the earlier video. That's owner occ loans. So let's talk investor loans 1 to 4, right? So resi or residential loans. Right. What do you want to do first? Purchase, refi, what dealer's choice?
Let's do refinance because I think a lot of people right now, over the past 6 months and still continuing today are, where do I get capital to invest in real estate or invest in whatever and they've got real estate that's appreciated 30, 40%. They're reaching out to me and saying, I'd like to pull some cash out. And so, know that when it's an investment property, you're going to have different rules like loan to value and how much you're able to pull out. But just some, quick and easy things to think about. If it's a single family residence and you're doing a cash out refinance, banks will let you go to 75%.
Okay.
And so you can pull out up to 75%. If you're doing that same cash out on an investment property and it's a 2 to 4 unit, most banks are going to cap you at 70%.
Okay.
And I say most because some of them on the 3 and 4 units might even cap it at 65 or 60.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But Fannie and Freddie say 70. And so the banks that just follow Fannie and Freddie and don't have their own overlays are going to go to 70%. So that's that. One thing I think I should mention, just because it's such a popular thing in California where me and you are both at, is these are the limits, right? 75% single family, 70% 2 to 4. Some people don't know what they've got because this ADU thing is so popular.
Yeah. And
so I had an investor I did a loan for about 6 months ago, single family residence, 2 ADUs. And I think the county had it recorded as a single family. Appraiser called it a triplex. And then title company had it as something different, right? So everybody was like, what the heck is this thing?
Right.
Ultimately, like an appraiser and a lender, what they view it at is what you're going to, what your financing is based on. Okay. 2 to 4 unit, the terms are going to be slightly worse than a single family. It's just like extra risk, extra layers of loan level price adjustments.
Okay.
So I guess that's just another thing to keep in mind. If you've got like a 400 square foot ADU, 1,500 square foot house, probably viewed as a single family and an accessory dwelling unit. If you've got a 1,200 square foot house and a 1,200 square foot ADU, they're probably going to view it as a 2 unit. Right. And in that case of that investor where different people were seeing it differently, we just went to title and said, hey, we're going to, have this showing up on the prelim as a 3 unit.
Okay.
And so they changed the preliminary title report. We're able to do it as 3 unit. We're actually able to get it reappraised.
Oh, good.
And it came in higher at the.
Yeah.
So it all worked out, but couple little caveats there, and then we can talk about purchase.
Well, let's do refi just rough and tough because we talk rates all the time. We just talked about episode 1, kind of the best rates, owner occ 800 or whatever it was, 780 credit score was 3 1/4. What would a cash out refi on a house versus a fourplex be? Are we talking 3 3/4? What are we talking?
Probably, since it's gone up so much, we're not paying points. We're probably like 3.75, 4%.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
On the single family, and then on the 2, 3, 4 units, we're probably up above 4%.
Okay,
and I think I see points being paid more often on the investment property stuff, especially if someone's like, okay, like this thing's established. I'm a buy and hold investor.
I'm going to hold it forever.
I'm going to hold this for at least 8 years. Okay.
Right.
It might make sense in your scenario to pay a point, get that thing down to 3.75 and then just set it and forget it. So, high threes, low fours on that stuff.
And again, the low, just so people realize, right, the whole like it, lock it thing, the low that you saw in the, I don't know, months ago was probably 3.25 for a cash out refi, probably.
Yeah. I mean, 3.25 was probably a purchase with 25% down.
Okay.
Cash out with extra hits was probably 3.75 or 3.5. So
just trying to give a feel.
We're still 0.5% off the friggin' bottom, right? Amazon stock at $400. Right. It's not the low, but it's pretty darn good.
There you go. All right. So, so that's cash out refi. How about purchases?
So purchase, there's still lenders that will do 15% down on a single family if it's an investment. Terrible terms. And that's the thing too, is like if you're buying a $300,000 house and you've got 45 grand and 15%, like let's find a way to put 20% down, because the terms get a lot better. And then you take another big leap when you go to 25% down. Okay. And 20% is kind of what sticks in people's heads. Like, I think I got to put 20% down if it's an investment property. And I go, well, there's 15, it's terrible terms. 20 is decent, but look at 25, because I think me and you, when we did our cash on cash returns, we saw like, holy moly, why is 25% so much better? It's because the terms, you could probably get a quarter better in rate and, a half a point to a point better in cost.
Yeah.
Doing 25% down. So single family, 25% down makes all the sense in the world. When you get to 2 to 4 unit, your minimum's 25% down.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping we were going to get to as well. Right. Purchases, I've never seen 15%, at least. Yeah. I've never seen it. I always thought it was 20% down. So it makes sense that there are 15, but it's crazy rules. But yeah, it's 25 if you wanted, 2 through 4. It just is.
Right. Yeah. And the thing about it is, it's an investment up front. You got to put a decent down payment, but it makes it safer. It makes the payment lower. And so I don't think that should be something where people are just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that.
No, it just is what it is. No.
Right. And when we're talking about multifamily that some would consider an investment, but it's owner occupied.
Yeah.
Then you can get into lower down payments. And what was I just looking at? Gosh.
You brought up a loan program, I think it was 3 weeks ago, that's 95% LTV for like an owner occ fourplex, right? Where you live in 1, rent out 3.
Yeah, an owner occ 2 to 4. It's just got some really funky income guidelines. I don't know how big that bucket is, but if you're home possible or home ready and you fit into that, qualifying bucket, you could do a 2 to 4 unit with 5% down. And I've had a lot of cash out duplexes come my way. And those where you're limited on an investment property on a 2 to 4 to 70% loan to value, if you occupy it and you occupy a duplex, we can go up to 80%. On the cash out.
Yeah. It's all amazing stuff. And again, you now support all 50 states. So if you are one rental at a time fan, student, follower, and you have investment loans and you want to see what a cash out refi, they can reach out to you greatmortgagebroker.com, see what's possible. If they're looking to make a purchase and they still are under the 10 loan limit, they can come to you now, all 50 states. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Give us a call. We'll place you with the team. And what we're currently doing while I'm ramping up and I'm ramping up capacity is literally putting you with a team that I'm connected with at U Mortgage, who's they know Utah. They do 200 purchases a year in Utah. They're going to help you out. And so what I've always done and what my business will always do is be very client centric, and client experience is the most important thing. And so even when it's, not something that I'm even monetizing, I'm going to make sure you get the best advice.
Yeah. And that's what people have been telling me. We've been doing this a year. Everybody's raves about you and your team. So I know this much. I put out my community that you're now doing the country, and the feedback and the response was amazing. So hopefully you saw that. Hopefully you saw the team.
Yeah. Well, trust me, with the team in Philly at U Mortgage, it's been 2 meetings a week for 60 to 90 minutes on let's get the lead intake process down. Let's make sure that we're, serving people at a high level, because at the end of the day, the blood, sweat, and tears of the last 7 years to build a good reputation and all the great things that folks in the community say, we can't screw that up now.
Can't screw it up now. I like it. Thank you, man, for all you do.
Yep.
We'll be back to doing this on Wednesday next week.
All right, cool. Thanks, Mike.
Bye.